This is a place for planting, for digging, for harvesting, for relaxing. It's a place to get your hands dirty, but most of all, it's about having fun. And that's what you'll always have when you're in the garden with Doug Oster. You want a green thumb too, don't you? For the first time ever, we're on the road at the Audubon Center for Native Plants here at Beechwood Farms Nature Reserve, and we're going to learn everything there is to know about native plants and why you should grow them in your garden. So this is the partridge berry.
Native plant is a plant that's been in this area or the particular area prior to European settlement. You'll get a lot of different definitions, but that's kind of a broad definition. We grow right now about 134 different species.
And if I'm a gardener, why should I be growing natives?
Well, they're beautiful for one, and they really support our local animals and birds and habitat for all the great creatures that we have here in Western PA.
And certainly for pollinators.
Absolutely, yeah.
Why are natives a better idea for pollinators?
Because they evolved at the same time as native plants, so they're familiar with the nectar available, the pollen available. The flower shapes are designed in a way that they are able to be utilized better, easier, and faster.
What's the biggest misconception about natives?
I think that they're weeds, you know, and that they're not beautiful and not desirable in the landscape, and I differ. Surprisingly, lobelias are blooming right now, the blue lobelia. We have a beautiful Christmas fern that stays evergreen, a wonderful ground cover, partridge berry that has gorgeous red fruit. I think we also have some of our late blooming asters and goldenrod that are still flowering now.
Well, let's start off with talking the importance of asters and goldenrod.
Because they flower so late in the season, they're kind of the last chance for a lot of our native insects to work so they can get whatever they need, but also those insects are supporting our birds and other animals that feed on insects. So that's a really important concept that I think often gets forgotten in the plant equation. Yeah, a lot of native plants just have fantastic fall color or really interesting seed pods. And, you know, I love that. I don't think, you know, you should discount sort of that extra season effect just so, you know, just because it's not flowering doesn't mean that it can't be beautiful in other times of the year. I love moss. Anybody that, all the volunteers here know I have a real love for it, so I save it and pot it up. And, but it's a fantastic ground cover, especially if you have a wet area or a moist area. And it's so cute and cushy. I love it. So why not have something that's beautiful, that helps clean the water, that brings pollinators, supports birds, helps you reduce your garden maintenance, and native plants can do all of those things and more. It's really what I do as a career, but what I am very passionate about just in my personal life. So I garden all day and then I go home and garden. So I really think it's important, and I want people to know that they can do something to help the environment in their everyday life, and planting native plants is a first step to really helping the environment at home.
Will you help me pick out some native plants for my garden?
Absolutely will.
Well, before we start the fun of the shopping, this is a very important plant that's going to seed. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. That is common milkweed. Very important plant for monarch butterflies. So that is the host plant for the monarch caterpillar. So they absolutely need that plant.
And you're giving the seeds away.
We are.
All right. Well, we'll tell people all about that later.
Sounds
now,
good.
The fun. Let's get a flat. So first off, it's not too late to plant?
No, absolutely not. As long as you can dig a hole, you can plant. The plant is dormant, you know, when it looks like that, but doesn't mean you can't get it in the ground. It'll be happier in the spring.
What do you need to know from me first?
Well, site conditions.
shady woodland.
Okay, can do. Level of maintenance commitment.
None.
We can do that as well.
I'm doing too much writing and talking about gardening. I need something that makes it look like I am gardening.
Well, native plants are your answer to that, so we can definitely get you some easy maintenance
Anything else
native plants.
you need to know?
Yeah, like just what is your goal here? What do you want to achieve?
I want to help wildlife and especially pollinators.
Okay, we can make that all happen. So
All
let's
right.
find some great stuff.
What's first?
This is Salvia lyrata.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
that's a nice one.
Well, I am ready to plant.
Hooray!
Roxanne, thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
learned so much today. Let's go settle up.
All right.
For more information about native plants and how to use them, check me out online. That's a place where you can also find more stories, columns, blog posts, and photos, videos too, and also where you can get those free milkweed seeds. Now, I've got a lot of work to do. We'll see you next week.